Well, I would address the first question. Is it a different way of thinking during the day? And I would say fundamentally yes. One of the best books ever written on Sabbath is by uh, Heschel, a Jewish philosopher and rabbi, and it's simply called The Sabbath. And it really is helping to cultivate that different way of looking at this day, and then by implication how to enter and receive the day. But I mean, he spends really the bulk of the book, The Sabbath, exploring this shift in perception that is necessary to truly understand what the Sabbath is, and as I say, that the implications of that shift are then we begin to understand practices around it. So in some ways that rethinking is very important. And Heschel uses a few phrases, but I think the most what's proven for me the most fruitful is he talks about Sabbath as a cathedral or a sanctuary in time. And it's this perception that when I enter into Sabbath, I'm entering into something that is qualitatively different in time, just as a sanctuary or cathedral is qualitatively different in space. It would take a lot longer to sort of play that out, but I would simply commend to listeners who are intrigued by that Heschel's great book, The Sabbath. Around the question, is it a me day? I would emphatically say no, but I want to come back to that. It's not a me day because it's very clear in the Sabbath commandment, the fourth commandment, that it is unto the Lord. And how I understand that is it's a recentering of our life in Christ, in the triune God. And Sabbath is really coming back and embracing our identity as beloved children of God who have been sought and set free by the God of the universe. That's why in Deuteronomy, the Sabbath commandment points back to the Exodus. You are my people, and I set you free, and therefore keep the Sabbath. So it's living freshly into that identity as being children of God and being redeemed people. So any Sabbath that doesn't involve a deliberate act of um, reorienting my life to God at the center is not going to be truly a Sabbath practice. So it's not about me. At the same time, Jesus says we were not made for the Sabbath, but the Sabbath for us. And in other words, Jesus is critiquing the religious idea that we're to run around maintaining Sabbath. The very gift of Sabbath is meant to maintain and renew and restore us. So the irony of Sabbath is that we make every effort to enter it, as Hebrews 4 says, but it is this gift, this mysterious gift that is making every effort to bring us back into the fullness of who we are and restore us to the fullness of how God made us and how God has redeemed us.